Alright, so I'm going to be doing a VOD review for ImOnlyGold, a Master5. Okay, I was about to say I thought this game looked like it was console, and then it ends up being console. Yeah, not too important, but yeah, since you're trying to one-trick Rein to GM, you're struggling with the Malga front line as well as the Ana Bastion. It says you're specifically looking for Adder to review this. I don't think he even plays Overwatch anymore. Not to say I'm keeping up with him in any sense of the word, but I'm pretty sure his last review was like multiple months ago. Like maybe he'll come back. I don't know. But my point is, hopefully this review is something similar to what you're looking for, right? And it's completely free, and you obviously have the ability to disregard it if you'd like, but I think that would be unwise. Because I'm also similarly a fairly highly rated tank player, and I definitely found a few things that you're doing incorrectly, right? Just to preface this, I'm not really a Ryan player, so like there's some like character specific techs that I might not really be able to help you on, right? And I don't play on console. If I were to play, I hate playing with a controller. I just cannot stand playing with a controller. So I can't tell you like console specific things. But there are a lot of things like I noticed you're doing incorrectly this game. I basically watched the whole thing. I think right now you're struggling most with your positioning, right? You're constantly kind of not playing around corners where you can stall the objective on defense and you're not like making any like space for your team by moving forward at the correct times, right? You say you're struggling with a lot of cooldowns, right? They have the Bastion turret form, the Ana sleep and nade, and like the Malga shout. And yeah, it's a lot of cooldowns for you to deal with, but these players are not using them particularly well, right? Um, yeah, I've noticed like multiple opportunities that you have to take some space on the map when they just burn their cooldowns, and you're just not taking them, right? That's like the big thing, right? You said you're specifically struggling with those characters, so I'll kind of try to tailor what I'm saying in regards to those, right? Because you don't necessarily need to force out all their cooldowns to walk. You need to force out cooldowns, force people off angles, and then you have the potential sometimes to force a position where even if these people use their cooldowns, they can't get value from shooting you or your team because you just LOS them, right? That's kind of what you need to look for sometimes when they have like a billion cooldowns, like kind of cause you problems if you're gonna one trick your character, right? For reference, right? I didn't one trick Ryan obviously, but I one tricked Hog, like to the top 500 elo multiple times, including when he was like not like before his rework when he wasn't able to one shot, and I had like pretty much no actual Overwatch 1 experience, right? Like I played the game when it very first came out and just didn't play for until like Overwatch 2 season 3, season 2 somewhere around there. Not that important. But my point is like that's kind of what you need to look for when you're one tricking a character into like bad matchups. Yeah, and like bad maps. Like I don't think Ryan's very good on this map. I don't think he's like awful. I think like Dorado is probably worse. Yeah, but that's beside the point, right? Secondly, your shield management needs to be way better, right? I think you're trying to shield your team too much when it's not necessary, and you're just paying for it because you have no shield for when the enemy team actually like engages on your team, and you just get run over because of that, right? This kind of ties in with cover usage and just like playing Rein positionally. You just like always want to be like glued to a corner unless you have some sort of advantage you can just easily walk forward on, right? Like there's no reason pretty much ever to be in the cover on Rein, or sorry, outside of cover and just be wasting your shield because you just will set yourself up to get punished really easily, right? And I'm sure you see that like a ton in this game. Just use the map to your advantage, right? I know you're trying to shield your teammates sometimes, but you just have to trust your team not to just instantly die all the time, especially when they don't have a Widow, right? Like you have the Mercy pocket. Give your Mercy like the ability just to hard pocket your DPS by like not taking resources if possible, right? This is kind of how how you have to play when you have a bad backline, right? Um, Thirdly, I think your shatters need some work, right? You're like consistently shattering people when your teammates can't help you. And a lot of times, if you're shattering people that aren't like a low health squishy, like even if you shatter a Bastion and you don't have charge, he's just not gonna die, right? If the supports will just tank him, you shatter the tank, you can't pin them, right? They're just gonna live. And you need to like shatter more consistently in the LOS of your team, right? That's something you have to keep in mind. Um, in other matchups too, right? Or just in general, right? Because this game doesn't really make a difference because your support line's awful. But generally speaking, you want like an Ana or a BAP that can heal you from like far distance. Um, yeah, and be able to shoot or something like that, right? And just like making sure you're just always in their LOS when you go for plays is very valuable. Just right out of the gate, and this is kind of a really unfortunate team comp for Rein. Like this is not what you want to see, especially like your supports. It'll happen sometimes, like right. Ryan's pretty, in my opinion, like heal heavy and really like support dependent. Um, I guess if you were playing in scrims, you'd want to be like have a specific DPS lineup, but like supports are like even more important, especially on ladder. You really want speed, like a high healing hero. Like Juno Ana could probably work with Rein. For example, or just Lucio. It doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, this is just out of the gate. You should just be taking note of your team comp, noticing that it's a really low heal, so you just don't want to be like taking damage unnecessarily. It's perfectly okay on Rein, especially on defense. Literally just the AFK on cart, right? You're like impossible to get rid of for so many comps. If you literally just sit on cart, take 0 resources from your team, and just let your team free farm the backline, right? If they like start peeking you, then you can start swinging, right? And if they like use cooldowns and you shield, that's kind of what you want to be looking for. Like that's really, in my opinion, like the strength of Rein. A lot of times is that you're just like a professional staller. Like you pretty much, Rein and Ball are probably like the 2 best tanks in the entire game at stalling.
3,
Um,
2, 1.
Obviously, don't hit the tree. That's okay timing though, right? Yeah, this is okay. Once Bastion's in turret form, right, this is fine. Like, just literally don't even shield right now. Just let your shield regen. Against Hog, you want to be kind of mirroring everything he does, especially on defense, because like you get a lot of value just by forcing him to waste a lot of time just shooting all of his hooks, right? And my point is here, you see, what's going on here? Okay, it's in third or you're about to shield, that's why. Let me go a little further back. So here, you see the Hog is looking to your right. So you should be expecting the Hog is just going to walk where he looks, right? Like he's making this really predictable. He's going to come here. I mean, part of it is because I've watched this, and part of it's because I'm a Hog player, right? I know he's going to try to look to ignore you and hook your backline from an angle where you can't contest him, right? So your responsibility now is just to try to mirror everything he does and just block all of his hooks with shield, right? You see, you're doing this. I guess what you're trying to do is come over here and swing on the Hog, right? One, that allows him just to do this. And 2, even if you do that, right, like you're putting yourself in the LOS of the entire team. So like, let's say you do this and you just get slept. Now you hit the Hog like 1 time and you get slept in the middle of their entire team. And Hog's gonna have a hook and you get naded and die, right? Like that's why playing like cover on Rein is so important. Kind of no reason to be doing this stuff. Unfortunately, nothing you can do about the Widow, right? So here, this is a position where like you're trying to help your team get back. It's perfectly acceptable though. Once you're Ashe, you saw her like she was already walking back behind cover to start like shield hopping to preserve some of your shield, right? It's okay to take armor damage because like armor like halves damage against spam more or less, right? You can really do there, right? Your Brig needs to get out sooner. Unfortunate, probably should have shielded that, right? I don't know why your Ashe is still there. Here, just keep backing up, right? This is a position where, like, you cannot, like, solo kill this Hog right now. And he's gonna have, yeah, he already has hook. So what you're all doing now by, like, peeking this guy is just giving him opportunities to hook you, hook your Mercy, or, like, just waste all your shield. So by the time like your team's back to engage, right? You just have no resources, right? You see your teams coming out of spawn right now, literally just like fall back here, play this close angle here or whatever, you know, you don't literally have to be exactly there, but just make it like so if they peek you, they just get shot by your spawners, and now they're the ones wasting all their resources, and they have to run back to their team, right? There's literally no reason to be like taking this is fine. You see your teams here? It's okay to shoot the hog. You gotta go right now, though. This hog, he just got his hook back right now, right? He didn't have it like a second or two ago. And their bastion, so he just wasted his turret form, right? Your entire team is here, and he did like what? 200 shield, or I guess maybe a little more shield HP. Some of that's probably from the hog, but he pretty much did nothing to your did nothing with that turret form, right? And you notice where the Ana is, right? If you, for example, walk on this hog, it doesn't really matter. You can walk here, you can walk the cart, just stall cart, and these are all options where the Ana can't see you, right? Unless she decides to swing wide and peek your entire team. And that's kind of what you want to be looking for in Rein, right? Maybe you can't do anything, but your positioning can kind of dictate what you want to do. Here, no reason to go for this pin, right? Like, it's a good pin in that you hit the guy, you can take note that he doesn't have this whatever. But the Ana still has both her cooldowns, right? Like, you didn't see her use any of them. I guess she used nade, I don't know what for, a really long time ago. But, like, here, right, you know she's still asleep. The hog still has hook, so, like, and I don't even think pin kills Bastion, right? So, like, even if you, like, pin this to completion, and you pin him here, right? You pin him, I'm sure you can see, look how awful this would be for you, right? Like, the Ana misses her sleep, but you pin this guy, you don't one-shot him, you get naded, and he just, like, blows you up, right? With the Ana, the Mercy, and the Widow, and you just, like, die, right? It's really, like, medium risk, insanely high, or sorry, medium reward, insanely high risk, right? And because you just don't go fast enough, after the Bastion's used his turret form earlier, he has it back now. I should have mentioned this earlier. It was just too much to say. You should have immediately charged somewhere the moment the Bastion's turret form's over to like press your advantage immediately, right? You literally could have charged a point, started swinging on the Bastion or whatever, you know, just played on whatever side was necessary and just like farmed your ult, right? Like on Rein, it's perfectly okay just to farm your ult because it's a pretty strong ult and you get pretty fast, right? Especially against their comp, right? They have no shields and like them sleeping you out of your shatter is like almost impossible, right? Or hooking them out of your shatter, they pretty much have to predict it. And yeah, if you potentially could like shatter, get it off, and then get slept or hooked out afterwards. But as long as you shatter in a good spot, your team will be able just to pick up the kills that you're getting, or pick up the people that you stunned. It's okay. Not really a fan of this, right? Kind of the same problem. This hog blows you up. I know you're trying to like trade out the fight, right? But like it's just not necessary, right? You're the Widow or whatever. The hog gets one pick. Really no reason to be going for this at this position because it's even right now, right? You see, you're taking all this damage because you're just playing in the open, and there's no reason to go for this play. If you literally just stall out the fight, you win, right? It's on defense, and you can see, like, if they just waste anything else, and, like, again, your heal comp's really low, right? So if you do this stuff, like, this hog should have killed you right there. You just kind of missed. I will say you gave your, whatever the opportunity to rest your guy, so. Not the end of the world, right? It wasn't, like, the worst shatter ever. But it's definitely premature. Honestly, knowing they have a Mercy, I would have camped the hog. You know, this Widow is just too far away. And of course, there's always an opportunity for your team just to win the 1v1. And because, again, I will say, because you go so deep, now their team's respawning, right? And now you're caught in the open again, right? Your positioning's not good. Shield management's not good too, right? You don't even know if your guy is using his shield. I mean, he is, which is good from him. Yeah, and actually, you know, that's not the end of the world, right? But once the your guy gets the pick, why don't stand here, right? Like your Sojourn's not gonna get one shot. I think holding the shield for the Sojourn to like duel the Widow is good. Here, like she's not gonna get one shot, right? The Widow's dead. The Hog's across the map. There's literally nothing can insta kill her. If she dies now, it's not on you at all, right? Now you're just sitting in the open, shielding for no reason. The Bastion swings wide, and you just lose your entire shield, right? And he's getting mercy pocketed, so like your Sojourn's not gonna one shot. Yep, that's good. Right, he overextends without his turret. This is fine, right? He's weak. Okay, good shield, right? This is all good stuff. If I'm not saying anything, it's probably because it's more or less good, right? Like he's pretty. It's like Hog's not gonna be able to kill you with Nana, right? It's pretty good, right? Here in this position, this is when you want to use shield, right? When you're low in armor, like probably one back too far. You know the Bastion's dead, right? You killed him. So this is good timing here. When you know you have no armor, right? Literally just hold shield. And do your best to LOS him. Because you don't want to get shot. You saw the Soj was angling, you left. What you want to do is stall for as long as possible. And just, this is a position where it's perfectly okay just to use all your shield, right? Because you don't want to die from the Sojourn peeking off angling the Bastion. It's okay to like waste your shield just so you don't take damage, get the passive, and like get your passive regen. Which especially you have the perks. You can literally just hold the shield right now and just get the passive health regen, which is very valuable with your like support lineup. Ignore or just dodge the DPS passive and let your supports heal you for like maximum damage. I don't like this pin, right? This guy doesn't have turret, but they're too far away, and the spawners are coming back, right? Now you see you're out of position, and they make the swap to Maga, but even if they were still on Hog, it's still like dangerous, right? If you pin in, he walks up and just like hooks you. See, because you did that, now all your resources are gone, which gives them the opportunities to walk over. Oh nope, right? I think the Sojourn kills someone here. Okay, she doesn't. Because you charge forward for no reason, right? You literally, in this position, you literally just stand right here, right? This map's just open, which I don't really open, which I don't think is very good for Rein. Literally just sit here, right? You take no support from your supports. You just sit on the objective and make yourself impossible to get rid of. You don't give them ult charge, right? I mean, obviously you can fire strike farm your ult, whatever, but you're also allowing your Mercy the opportunity just to hard pocket your DPS and just like punish them for walking in the open, right? Alternatively, you could play to shield your DPS so they have even more opportunities to just farm their backline, right? Like those are other options you can do, but charging in is kind of like a throw. Right? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, Shatter. Literally no one can see this Bastion. Just based on your like team's positioning, you know they're all not going to be set up to like see this guy, right? Now see, like your Soldier, yes, Soldier dies because you forced out a ton of like attention from your supports and didn't give your Mercy the ability to like hard pocket him, right? So he had to back up from his positioning and just allowed the Sojourn to like get an easy angle on him. And now you see this is like your problem with your ults. Literally no one can see these people right now, right? And if they can see the Maga, he's not going to die. And the Bastion picks a perk where he gets the extra over shield or whatever, over health on his ult, and he can get tanked by the enemy. So like, you just can't do anything with his ult because you're not playing LOS, right? If the Bastion ults, so be it, right? I mean, like, in that position, you just kind of trolled by just going forward for no reason. Yeah, I wouldn't be even going forward. This fight's just unwinnable. Yeah. Just charge away. One thing you could be doing right now is charging and setting up like up here. The thing is no one can see you, right? Because if they just hard rush you, you're in like a bad spot. But even if they hard rush you, you should have pin back in time just to pin away, right? It's kind of like a riskier play, but the entire point is like sometimes DPS will roll out up here, right? Just predict them, try to angle like up here, and you just catch someone off guard and just kill them. And that's kind of like the risk versus reward thing right there. So you know they have to have one set up on cart, right? This is not a time where you want to be peeking. You're just losing your resources and forcing your supports to like heal you for no reason right now, right? I mean, your team wasn't even there to help you fight. Don't even peek right now. If you're low, just don't peek, right? Now say, right, because you did that, let's watch from your Mercy's perspective. Like, you're baiting her because you took all that damage. You're baiting her into peeking here. Obviously, like, if this Mercy was better, she could have just probably peeked out right here and just not get shot by anyone, right? That's beside the point, right? Or, you know, the Beret could have done the same thing, come out and packed you. But by doing stuff like this, you're baiting your team into, like, making bad plays, right? Again, right, if your Mercy's dead and they're all shooting this angle, don't just sit here and waste your shield. Like, you just need to go somewhere else and open the map for your team, right? I will note, this Malga uses shout, right? I'm sure you know this, but when they don't have their shout, this is a good engage timing for you. Your concern right now should be, like, scouting where the Bastion is, and scouting where the Ana is, right? And you see, actually, now, the nade goes off. So again, see, like, how often they're just wasting their cooldowns? So which gives you a lot of opportunities to go somewhere right now, right? Like, for example, now, I mean, yeah, well, you have health now, and if your Mercy didn't die, for example, you could just pin on this Sojourn, right? Swing here, force her away from this angle, and then continue walking over here, for example, so you can't get shot by anyone by the Malga. And obviously, you can just shield off his, like, his engage. If the Sojourn continues to peek up here, you just swing on her, and she'll just never get value, right? You're forcing her to move away because, like, they burn their defense, right? That's what you need to, like, look for on a lot of times. Here, too distracted on the other thing. If you see this guy, let me get a little further back. When you see this guy pin in, your instinct should not be to just counter pin him, right? Again, like, if you pin him in, especially you know he's gonna come up on shout soon, you pin him against a wall, like, your team is not gonna be able to insta kill him because, like, you're down to support and you have, like, no ways of denying his self heal, right? Just shield when he uses his thing, and and it'll, like, help your team, so take less damage. You see, like, it's like the pin's not the end of the world. The troll move is that you pinned in, right? Or sorry, the pin isn't the end of the world again. The troll move is that after you pin, you keep turning like this, baiting your team into thinking you're going to engage on this guy. But right now he's shouting, right? And the Sojourn still has an angle right here, right? So you're forcing your entire team to try to, like, come out here and engage on this Malga, which, one, the Sojourn has an angle again. Two, this guy's in shout and he's, like, baiting you guys to follow him. And it's working, right? Like, you should just be, like, holding shield in this position, not letting himself move, right? Your team is also kind of trolling because they're playing, like, the poke comp, or they're playing poke characters. They should be, like, taking angles here. But I'm sure you can see, like, this seems small on your part, but you're playing like this. It's just, like, baiting your teammates to consistently, like, fight these, like, terrible positions for them, right? Alternatively, in this fight, what you could have done is just come over here to begin with. For example, come down here and, like, open up the angle for your team, right? Now your team has the ability to, like, walk this way because now you can take aggressiveness from, like, the Surgeon here, from the Malga here, right? And you have, like, decent cover if you play down here, right? It's not the best, but it's something, right? If you just sit here, you're just kind of letting your team get farmed because you're not. Right, their Bastions is AFK cards, right? So, like, their options on the map are, like, different spots. Here, you're just fighting without, like, your entire team, right? This has kind of also been a problem this entire point. Your team just has not regrouped a single time, right? You're just consistently fighting with, like, no resources. Someone on your team is always dead. Partially their fault, right? Partially it's because you're on a really bad comp. But I'm sure you can see, like, a lot of it's also stuff that you could potentially change. Cutting a little close, right? You could potentially just pin them off the map there, or just, like, pin them further into your backline, just to expose yourself a little less, but that's okay. Here, this is good. Immediately pin in, right? You have the Malga pick, immediately pin in when you have an advantage, because, like, what's the worst that's gonna happen, right? If you pin in here, for example, I mean, this is, like, the most obvious thing you could do. Just pin in literally right here to contest card. And like, since they don't have the Maga, you can shield anything, right? If you should be able to like predict or react to sleeps or whatever. In the Bastion turret forms, right? If he wants to shoot you away, he has to come all the way out here, which like look how bad this is for his team, right? If he wants to continue to shoot you, you can just keep backing up, and he just has to expose himself to get value by shooting you, right? Alternatively, you could like pin kind of where your Sombra is, or you could even pin top and try to get him this Ana, right? Do something when they're just to press your advantage, like immediately, right? Shooting your team is like okay, but it's more valuable to take space and like make yourself an immediate threat, right? And try to bait out their cooldowns, right? And it's another thing, when you just shield across the map, they're not going to use cooldowns, right? They're just going to spam your shield, look for people that aren't on your shield, and just like, it gets no value. But if you make yourself a threat by like forcing your ability to do damage, you force out cooldowns and you bait them out much more easily, right? See, out of position here again, if you were already here, you could be playing with your Sombra, playing around like the hacked health pack, playing around to stall cart, right? And forcing them to be the ones that have to, like, for example, walk down this way, which gives your DPS a lot of opportunities to shoot them. Walk down main, which again, same thing. Or like take this flank route here, which again, same thing, right? You see like all these positions where they have to like swing like this to force you off cart gives your team a lot of opportunities to shoot them, and you can just stall cart and swing on people that try to like force objective too, right? And just shield all their cooldowns, right? So big shatter, but just keep in mind, right? This is another position where your team isn't able to fully help you, right? Like this, they make a pretty good rotation. Honestly, if your Sojourner's position a bit better, she could help you a bit better. It's definitely risky. They'd only really be able to shoot the Bastion here. It's decent. You know, this is decent overall. Just grab the pack, right? It's hacked. Especially if you have a really low healing comp. Again, just shield this. Don't fire strike. I'm literally just shield it. He's looking to farm people, right? This is the big power spike. When you hear / see this guy use Shao, just shield it. Unfortunate. Unfortunate, this disruptor shot's kind of annoying when it sticks to you. When they like get the perk just in the future, right? If you know you get the disruptor shot, just literally stand still. This Brig's trying to get away from you. I don't know if she has shield bash or not. Okay, she does not. So literally just stand on the corner and try to let her get out of the range. Unfortunately, she's probably dead regardless, but it's kind of like pulse bomb. It's kind of hard to react to it because you probably didn't know she had it, so. When you see this guy pinning in, you could drop shield just so you move faster, right? You're a really easy pin target with shield. That's alright, your entire team's kind of dead. I will say again, you took a lot of unnecessary damage there, position wise. Okay, no clue how your Brig dies there. Fortunate. Hammer goes too early. If the Maga is just sitting here, go through a different doorway, right? If he's just gonna sit here, a lot of tanks have this problem. They're just trying to mirror the tank. Literally, just go somewhere else, right? If he's just gonna stall you out, go somewhere else, right? You need to go right now. And for example, you could literally just like charge over here. You had a lot of opportunities to do this. Charge over here, play this course, close angle here. You do something so your team can actually walk and you take attention, right? Obviously, you have to take attention there because you have the threat of like forcing one. Honestly, at this point, your team just kind of like also hard fed. The last fight was kind of on you, kind of not. Which you can see there were a lot of different opportunities that round to do something else though, right? So, do a lot of stuff better. Again, shield management here, just wasting a lot of shield for no reason. If they don't have a Widow, you just have to let your team like take duels and just so you actually have shield for when you want to actually. Not the end of the world because you have to push the card off anyways, but like it's a recurring theme. Nice. This is a position where you just need to. Yeah, this is good. It could have been a little faster. I would say don't charge straight into their team because you know this Malga still has cooldowns, you know the Ana still has cooldowns. I get you're trying to stop the res, but what if instead of charging directly into their team where you're going to get shot by like 3 players, you just charge over here and immediately start pressuring this Ana or immediately set up on an angle over here where if they don't respect you and your team starts turning the corner, you just walk into them and swing on 3 people for being overextended, right? Like that's probably your best option here instead of doing this. You just get more value that way. Again, honest here, right? Again, wasting a ton of shield. And the added benefit of coming this way is you have like a way more natural cover over here, right? Like you don't have to get tanked by your team. You can just keep walking, allow your team to pocket your DPS or like do damage themselves, and just punish the people that are forced to come back anyways, right? Because they're down 1. By pinning forward and opening up the map for your team, you're like indirectly stopping the res because if they stay in that position, even if the Mercy gets a res off, their entire team's just gonna die anyways. Here, right? You just like waste too much time and give them the ability to get their resources back or their cooldowns back, right? This guy's almost gonna have shout again, and the Sojourn's gonna have slide again anyways, right? It's pretty much the same cooldown. Again, right? You just waste all your shield here. This is okay. But you could have literally, I'll mention, literally by just doing this play in the first place and just sitting here AFK, you would have accomplished the exact same thing, but you would have been potentially able to kill their Ana, and you would have had your entire shield HP right now. You're right, don't shield. If your team peeks a Bastion, like they're just trolling, right? You just don't have the shield for it, right? You just have to hope they don't sometimes. This is okay, so he's purple. Unfortunate, your team's all kind of dying. Here, just back up, right? Don't bait your team to peeking. Unfortunate. Just charge away, yeah. Unfortunate. I don't think anything you did like prior to your entire team dying was like especially egregious. It's just kind of the problem that you wasted a ton of shield, and maybe sometimes by holding shield up, I'll mention that you're baiting your team to use it, and if it just gets instantly shredded because they're using their cooldowns into it, right? It just gets no value, right? It puts them out of position and just like does nothing. No reason to like be holding shield in the open here, right? Like you just have to trust your team not to explode sometimes. What you should be doing instead is potentially just coming in this room here, or an alternative, right? If you don't want to take damage, charge over here, right? When you get here, wait for your charge, and then, for example, charge in this room here to get this Sojourn eventually off high ground, right? Like, these are things you have to do on Rein if you're going to one-trick this character on, like, bad maps, right? This map's really open. Obviously, just sitting in the open is just not working because you're just destroying your shield before you get anything. Or before you can get anywhere. This is a position where you can just start swinging, right? Like, see your full HP, peek the corner and start swinging, right? You need to like do damage to force out cooldowns. Just swing on this guy. Don't be so, if he's not shouting, don't be so afraid of him shouting. Risky, I don't hate it. One thing I would have done, once you got that pin kill, because you know they still have like all their cooldowns, right? You get the pin, and instead of like going back to your team, you continuously, like, for example, walk this way, because you don't take any like resource from your team, right? You're behind cover and take 0 healing. Or alternatively, you can walk up this way, and you see by doing all this stuff, you LOS yourself from the Bastion and eventually the Malga too. See, because you like go back in the open and just give up on your positioning, now you force out Nano, and you just give up all your map control, right? Like, your Brig kind of fed, unfortunately. I don't know exactly how she died. I'm pretty sure she was the one that died. Yeah. But you got like the intro pick on the thing, and you just had to make the best possible play at that timing, which is counterintuitively not to run back to your team, but continuously like forcing yourself on like random spot, well, not random spots, but like awkward spots for them to deal with, and setting yourself up for like another pin play where you don't necessarily pin directly on someone, but for example, you from this position here, you can like pin on the Ana, right? You can pin up the staircase to like like get these people off high ground, right? And these are just like positions you could do, or like situation or opportunities you could have from like what you did, right? Just keep backing, right? See, when you're not coordinated, people aren't just like always gonna use the shield. It's fine, okay, shatter here. Really risky, right? You know they have all their cooldowns. Like, your team just died and they just respawn. Like, when you get these spawn waves, you just have to know that they're gonna have all their cooldowns. Again, right? I'm sure you already see the problem with the shatter. You see your team is literally not, you have some spawners. Your team is literally not able to like see anyone you just shattered, right? Like, yeah, you're hitting a lot of people, but you can't do anything with this, right? Just say, eat my words, get the Maga kill. Really, the Ana should have like tanked this guy, right? Their Ana just kind of trolled for absolute. But again, because you do that play, like you kill the Maga, sure, but you can't deny the res, and they just have all their cooldowns, and you wasted all your shield and HP to go for that shatter in the first place when there's literally no reason to make the fight go so fast when they have all their cooldowns. This is good here, right? You notice this guy's overextended. Again, you can shield hop that stuff. If you have armor, you can afford to shield hop. That's alright, your break was just kind of dead there. Let me go a little further back. I don't know why your Ana's there. It's alright. There's some like other things you could have done differently after like you messed up the shatter, right? Your team's kind of some specific moment, so just die here. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste time going over all nitpicking every little thing you did. Like your team was just kind of out of position there, right? That's sometimes what you have to think. Some games and some fights, your team just kind of trolls. It happens sometimes, right? It's senseless to nitpick literally every single thing you do. Again, small thing, right? They don't really punish you that time. Oops. Again, shield this guy. When he shouts, just shield him. I guess your Ana probably purpled him. Let's see. Yep. Or actually, maybe not. What does she need? Okay, well he gets slapped and insta-killed. What you should be doing in this position is just shielding, right? Every time you see/hear him, you shout literally shield. It should be like instinctively. Just literally give him 0 value from his cooldown. Right? Right? Okay, this is okay. This is a good time for you to just go in. Right? Yup, good. You know they have no cooldowns. Again, I'd prefer if you pin on positions, right? Because like now you're trying to pin on the Mercy, and you heard Guardian Angels well like a 2-second cooldown. But if instead you just pin directly into them, because you know the Ana doesn't have nade too, the Bastion doesn't have turret, and obviously their tank's dead. Just pin like right here, because even if you miss, you can just cancel it and just start swinging on someone, right? Like Mercy's just a really poor target in general. And like you just, like I said, pin the position, not the player, right? You want to deny their ability to run away for free. You don't want to pin here because like if you miss, you see literally do nothing now. But if you pin forward, even if you miss, and you get literally no value, like so you go down to like 100 HP, you just shield bot and your team can still peek for free, and you're not gonna die. Now you just can't do anything. You just kind of pin in like poor position. This Bastion is split. You should have noticed this Bastion was splitting from his team earlier, right? See this guy's walking left? This is a potential opportunity for you to push your advantage and like pressure this guy away left side, right? You know he doesn't have turret. He's splitting himself from his team. He's gonna have turret like in a second or two here, which is kind of another problem. Like you waste your pin and now you like can't like do that. In overtime, I generally want to be the one card because I don't want to trust my team. I understand. It's kind of a high risk, high reward play. Again, problem, no one can see your shatter again.
This ends now. Nanoboost administered.
I will say, if you play cart, you probably win that fight too, which is like, kind of, I'm sure in retrospect, that's kind of criminal, right? Like, their Maga doesn't have ult, you have nano, you have walls. Your, whatever guy had overclock, I don't know what happened to him, but you just had the ult advantage, right? And if you literally just probably shattered the Maga and pull, you would have won, right? Let me go further back.
It's go time. Helden sterben nicht.
Maybe not. Well, it's hard to say because like it's hard to do soon, right? It's just chasing this guy. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Nanoboost administered.
Unfortunate, right? Obviously, the big takeaways. I'd play cart pretty much every time is tank in overtime. Because I don't trust my team, and especially on Rein, like you get a lot of value from forcing objective a lot of the times, right? I will say again, when you're the one that gets off cart. Okay, I want to see what happened here. No, I'm not interested to see if they whipped or whatever. My point is, when you're off cart, you force your teammates to get on cart, which makes their like angles really bad, right? I want to see if maybe that's what happened. It's unfortunate.
This ends now.
Okay, your Sojourn just kind of messes it up. But yeah, your Briggs on cart, and you see when like you're off cart, you're forcing your supports to play on cart, which means they can't like support your overclock, right? Nano, especially because nano overclock's super strong. Something to keep in mind. Anyways, again, reiterate top 3 issues. Positioning needs some work, right? I think I went over this, right? But you need to like force more space and like peak at like better times, right? It kind of like goes hand in hand. You see, you're baiting your team to like peak a lot of times, and this part of this ties is on the second point is your shield management just needs to be better. You're just taking a lot of unnecessary like damage on your shield when your team doesn't need it, and like you're just like baiting them to like extend, and then just like getting your entire shield shredded because you're not playing like positionally cover wise well, right? These two kind of go hand in hand. And third, shatters need work, right? Out of 4 shatters this game, like 1 was kind of in position where your team could like actually follow up, and all the other ones were just like complete like duds because you're not shattering in the LOS of your teammates, right? Um, Obviously, solo shattering people outside of the LOS of your team can be okay, but that's not what's happening here, right? Like you're just not in position to like easily kill people when you shatter them, even if your intention is like to solo shatter people, right? You just have to like charge across the map, waste all your resources, and just like blow up or like have your team get killed in response, right? Because you're making these plays. I hope this helps.